feel like every guy talks about like, you know, women. Like there's not a single group of guys that will just not simply talk about women. And it's just like it's in our natures, or it's in our innate like primal urges to be and talk with women, talk about women and stuff, right? And like, you know, most guys, they'll get their fair share of women as they're growing up. Like even for me, like, you know, when I thought I was ugly and fat and short in middle school, I still got a fair share of women. In high school, when I was in a school full of, it was 80% guys, 20% women, there was still girls hitting on me and talking to me, and I was like flirting with this and that. And then in college, when I thought, oh yeah, these girls definitely don't want me, this and that, I'm barely in school, you know, I was doing most of this shit online, so I would show up and everybody was a little bit like antisocial. I wasn't in any clubs. I was still getting like girls coming up to me and talking to me, right? And, like, and they were a lot more attractive than the girls in my previous ages or whatever. And so I was really shocked that these girls would actively come and talk to me nonetheless. And one of them was so attractive. But like I didn't do nothing with these women nonetheless, give or take or whatever. But like what I'm trying to get at is like these women in real life, it's actually almost easier to get women than it is online, even though it's not perceived that way. And I'm only realizing this now, which is weird, because not weird, but it's like I feel like everybody thinks getting women online is a lot easier, and in some cases it is, but in most cases it isn't. And I was like really thinking about it. I was like, wait, nowadays you have like social media dating apps, everybody has Instagram, and you know, you have other like platforms where you can just easily talk to and get women, because all you have to do is just like swipe right or whatever and slide up and text them random bullshit, whatever. And like you're essentially hiding behind the internet screen, because you're not having to actively approach these women, and they can't like judge you in real life if they're attracted to you or if they like your vibe or whatever. And like you're not having to like effectively communicate, because you're just sitting on a screen and you can just say whatever you want to say. You can take the time to think about it, whatever, right? There's like mad implications involved. Nonetheless, if you really think about it, right, there's lots of more women online, right? Anything that's online, there's lots of more people out there, right? Like in business, you can have a lot more clients. In, you know, on video platforms, you can get a lot more views because it's online rather than like a presentation in real life. And then with women, there's lots of women online because there's just lots of more people online, right? But given that there's lots more women, there's also a lot more men. And given that men are more primal and they desire women more than women desire men in terms of like intimacy or whatever the case may be, right? You know, trying to do things or whatever. For every girl that you might like on the internet, there are probably guaranteed 10, 15 other guys that like her at the exact same moment that you like her, right? So you swipe right on a girl on Tinder, you're like, yeah, maybe I have a good chance. She was attractive, she might be attracted to me, this and that. Know that 100 other guys like swipe right on her as well. There was like a study done. There was like, it's like what? It was like the 20% of girls are with like, no, 80% of women are with the top 20% of guys. So it's like a very uneven, disproportionate like ratio or whatever. Nonetheless, that for Tinder or some bullshit. Like all these apps, especially on Instagram, like I guarantee the ugliest girl that you know on Instagram has 10 guys in her DMs, and you don't believe me until you act like you see it in real life. You're like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck is there this much guys in her DM? Then it's like you find like one of the better looking guys in like your friend group or your school or whatever, and you ask him how much girls are sliding up, he'll be like damn near nothing. Like it'll be like one or two like every now and then, because it's just not natural for girls to slide up or swipe up or like make the first move or approach. It does happen. I guarantee it happens. I know it happens. It's happened to me a couple of times or whatever, right? And I know it happened to other guys, but point is, it happens so little in comparison to how often it happens to women. And it doesn't matter how high of a man you are, even the lowest of women are getting more than the highest of guys. And it's just simply in our nature. And so when you are trying to get women online, yes, you have more options, but you also have a lot more competition, right? And not only that, it's like if you were to swipe up on a girl on Instagram, maybe she liked your pictures, maybe she watches your stories, whatever the case may be, right? She can easily ignore your message, and it doesn't matter what you said, it doesn't matter what you looked, it doesn't matter about your previous interactions. She can simply just be like, oh, I don't feel like talking, oh, I don't like what he said, this and that. There's like so much factors that can be the reason why she's not replying. And given so, like you start questioning, oh, she doesn't like me, this and that, and you think you fumbled your chance or whatever the case may be, right? And it can all simply be like she just doesn't feel like talking. Like something as simple as that, and you wrote it off as like, oh, she's not attracted to me, and like it hurt your ego because you're like, oh, I thought this girl really liked me, she liked my pictures, whatever, this and that. And it's like for some reason it almost like, it definitely would hurt more in real life because you're in the face-to-face contact. And she goes, but the thing is, girls in real life are very, like, I haven't met like these typical girls you see on the internet are like, oh, don't bother me if I'm wearing my headphones, and don't try to hit on me if you're ugly, this and that. Girls are not like that in real life. That's like all like social media bullshit that they like I feel like if you like as you grow up you realize how like false the things on the internet are. They're all like dramatized and like they're not real. Like they all these girls are like, don't bother me if I'm wearing headphones, this and that. And then like if you take this information and you really like absorb it, like, okay, I won't do that, and then you go in real life and you actually go talk to a girl with headphones, she'll just simply take it off, smile, and talk to you. Like they're not like oh my god, get the fuck out of my face. Don't you see I'm wearing these fucking headphones? I'm listening to my music, don't bother me, blah blah blah. It's like all of that shit is bullshit. That's just for some reason it's just so easily blasted on the internet. And you know, I think it has to do with like negative things on the internet get blown up more out of proportion simply because negative things have a bigger emotional connection to humans that interact with it rather than positive things. And it's always been like that. Look at like news articles, they always like will say like the headline will always be negative rather than positive. And like even when you're like looking at articles to read, you won't read the positive ones, you'll only read the ones that are negative. You'll be like, oh, how can this affect me, or this and that, whatever, right? So I think it's the same thing with the internet and like content. Nonetheless, girls in real life, if you go up and talk to them, they're always nice. Like I have never met a girl that was mean in real life. And so when you go and talk to them in real life, they can get your vibe better. They can't ignore it by just sitting behind a screen. You can get a better judge of like what it's like. And it's like you have to understand when you're approaching women in real life, you are essentially like I've been trying to get into this mindset because I saw the video of this guy talking about it, and I was like, that's really true. It's like as a man, you're gonna go and you're gonna have to pick the girl that you want or whatever, right? And so if you get to pick the girl that you want, there's girls everywhere. There's so many women everywhere, right? Lots of attractive girls, whatever, right? You can, if you're gonna pick, you can go approach this woman without the intention of being like, oh, I need to pipe or I need to get her number, this and that. You just need to go in and have a conversation and see it, first of all, if she likes you too, right? Because a big thing that I'll tell you right now, pick women that choose you. Do not go for a woman that doesn't actually like you. And you'll be like, what does that even mean? Like, bro, there's guys who will try their hardest and like they'll like spend so much money and time and energy on a girl that might not even really like them, and like they're simply together simply because of like it's convenient for the girl or whatever the case may be. But there's relationships where you can tell where like one person likes the other person more, and relationships where the guy likes the girl more doesn't ever work. The girl has to almost like the guy more in every situation. So always choose girls that actually like you. If you're talking to this girl and like, you know, you kind of fuck with her vibe about her, but you can tell she doesn't fuck with yours. Like she's on her phone, she's looking away, she's not holding eye contact. Call it a rip, move on to the next one. There's so much women in the world. There's too many women in the world, if anything, right? Just move on. Like this is not your die. This is not like in the time, you know, you might be really attracted to her and you might think, oh, this is the one for me. It's like, it's not. Trust me, there's definitely other women that are probably more aligned with you, given that she's not even attracted to you. So choose girls that choose you. And in real life, it's easier to get a better like understanding of this vibe if you fuck with her vibe. Like you have to go in approaching these women thinking, let's see if I even like her. Like it's not this, well, you think, well, I get her number, will anything come out of this? No, it's I'm gonna go talk to this girl and see if I even like her. Like, do I like her vibe? Do I like her voice? Do I find her attractive from up close and not from afar, or whatever that you're judging upon? And it's easier to get this vibe. And like what women will tell you that they don't actively get approached in real life often, right? Like they're getting tons of DMs, they get lots of swipe rights on Tinder, this and that. But in real life, so much men are afraid to approach that it doesn't happen often enough for them in real life, women, right? And like they will get approached because there's guys that have balls and there's this and that. But like typically, what I've noticed, guys that typically go up and talk to these women are typically the girls, typically guys that don't get, typically not the most attractive guys, and that's why they knew the only way for them to get women they would have to build so much confidence that they have to go and talk to these women in real life, because then maybe online they got no attention or whatever, and like, you know, no woman was ever coming up to them. So they're like, okay, I need to get the confidence to start talking to women. So typically these guys that have the most amount of confidence are typically not the most attractive, but the women are still getting with these guys because they're the only ones that are coming and approaching them, right? So it's like, that's why you'll see so much average looking guys with beautiful women, right? Because the beautiful women aren't getting approached by, you know, good looking men, because good looking men, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm good looking enough, she can come up, talk to me or whatever, or like, you know, I have other options, or I'm getting attention from online areas, or whatever. There's so many implications involved always, right? Nonetheless, if you can get the confidence of this average looking man by just like, you know, building up the courage yourself, this and that, learning what you need to learn, and then going talking to these women, your hit rate will be fucking insane. Because I'll tell you right now, if you can go like swipe up or swipe right on Tinder or like swipe up on Instagram to like 100 women, and you might just get like 5, at most 10 replies, right? Or even if these girls are super attractive, not attractive, whatever, right? I don't know why just online is, there's just so much competition. They're almost saturated where like these women just don't want to interact with men online, right? But if you go talk to 100 women in real life, you'll get like 50 numbers, 50, 60, 70 numbers, as long as you're like normal and you're like, you know, you're not too weird or creepy and you're decently attractive and you take care of yourself, like, you know, you smell good, you have a good outfit on and stuff like that. Because it's almost exciting for women to get approached in real life, because they're in this like state of dopamine. They will give you the number. Whether you guys, anything comes from after that, I'm not even trying to talk about like what happens after. It's just, you'll get the number, you'll have a good conversation, you can like understand the vibe, rather than just you sending out 100 DMs, which meant like fucking nothing, because you're not gonna get any replies. The response rate is gonna be horrible. Those are gonna lead to nothing as well, because at least with the real life, they know what you are in real life. There's no like, oh, will he kill me? None of that bullshit. It's just like, not bullshit, but like understandable. Like, should I really meet this man from the internet in real life? It's not like, there's like a still scare factor with that. But if you met them in real life, they know, you know they're in the vicinity. They know that you're normal. They know that you smell good. They know how tall you are. They know the dynamic between you guys. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of guys are so focused on how easy it is to send DMs and like how much options they have with women. But it's like, there's beautiful women all over the internet, right? Like top of the line beautiful women that you probably never see in real life. But you have to understand, these women are from like Brazil, Argentina, or France, or whatever the fuck. So it's like, these women aren't even in your vicinity. So seeing them is just only clouding your judgment and making you're comparing these women with women you see in real life, and it's causing you to be like, oh, these women in real life are not even attractive. When they are attractive, you're just comparing it to like supermodel, top of the line women from the internet who just happen to be there, right? So like, don't cloud your judgment. Understand that the internet shit is, although it's more options, you have more competition, a lot more competition, and it's more, you know, you're not only competing with guys that are of your age, but you're also, you know, competing with like way older guys with way more money or way more clout, or, you know, they have ships and yachts and boats and rappers and all these types of bullshit, right? So, but when you're in real life, you know these girls are in your vicinity. You know you can judge the vibe better. You can go see what's up. You're in a state of dopamine for them, so they might give you a number. It can lead to more things. You might see them more often rather than these random girls on the internet you're just talking to. I'm telling you right now, getting girls in real life is actually easier than it in online. And I feel like now that I'm looking back, I've gotten, like I said, you know, typically you're supposed, as a guy, you're supposed to go talk to the women first, but I've had more women come talk to me in real life than I've had women slide into my DMs. Actually, that's a lie. I've had a lot of women, mutual women, strange women, a lot more. Actually, no, I lied. Disregard all of that. Now, women will come talk to you in real life, and if they do that, you know you're of some like amount of status or attractiveness or whatever the case may be. But as a man, you should prioritize talking to women. You should prioritize in real life over internet. And it's like, if you don't see these girls in real life, typically or whatever, then yeah, obviously slide on the internet or whatever. But really try to make your main form of approaching women in real life, because I'm telling you, although it seems skewed based off what you see on the internet, it's so much easier and better in real life.